Today on New Canadians, we are joined by Koom Kankesan, an author and arts journalist. Hello, Koom. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, Koom. And I would like to begin this discussion by asking you about your immigrant journey. You moved to Canada, and how old were you? What are your memories?
It was 1987. We were refugees because the civil war in Sri Lanka was going on. It was a very difficult, tumultuous time. We were living in an apartment with some relatives, and it was very tight because you had two families in there.
How was your experience as a newcomer? It was a new country, it was new culture. What are your thoughts as a newcomer?
Well, it was really difficult for sure, economically and in terms of the transition. This is the third country we lived in since leaving Sri Lanka. And I was lucky enough to have spent some formative years in England, so I'd become very adept at English. But everything else culturally was different, and it was very different for my parents because England and Canada do have significant differences, and we'd been in Peru in between those two countries, which was extremely different as well. My father had to completely restart his career, including going to night school on top of work in his mid 40s or beginning in his mid 40s. So kudos to him for working so hard and being dedicated to us and our survival.
Absolutely. And every newcomer journey is commendable. What was it that really inclined you towards arts?
Well, my parents had expected me to become a doctor without, anything else kind of as a consideration. And so by the time I got to high school, I really discovered not only did I not really want to become a doctor, but it was part of this whole mindset that did not feel right to me. And so after going through a lot of my own struggles, I decided that the only way to turn that around was to learn things that were interesting to me and find a way that was more authentic and validating for myself. And so I moved out when I was 17 at the end of grade 12, and then I tried to find new paths, and that eventually led me to writing.
So, Koom, tell us about your talk at Toronto Newcomer Day 2021.
Well, it's nice to always kind of be connected to your roots. And you can be connected to your roots in very different ways. Another way I'm connected is I teach. I pay the bills. Writing, obviously, Toronto is a very expensive place to live, and writing is not going to pay those bills for most people. So I teach. And I teach youth who are newcomers. It's a program for people who are getting their high school diploma late in life. And most of those students now are newcomers, refugees, people at the bottom strata of society. And in the past, when I've taught too, I've always liked it when I've taught students like that. That poses challenges, but you can relate to their struggles, and it also gives me a chance to connect to those few people who do appreciate the arts, writing, thinking independently, and those kinds of things, and kind of reminding them that that's important, as well as the kinds of professional goals a lot of immigrants feel the pressure to achieve.
You were a newcomer once yourself, and now talking at an event and participating at an event that welcomes newcomers. How do you feel about it?
One of the things I really want to stress is the importance to write. For me, it wasn't just writing and becoming a good writer. It was also becoming a good thinker, because I didn't really realize it at the time, but the two are connected. Being able to write and read and think about things also changes the way you process things, on a very fundamental neurochemical kind of level. And also today, with all of the electronic stuff, to me, it's very important to remind people to read, to think, so that you can develop those connections and connect to people on a deeper, more sustainable, authentic, important, liberating level than what might be expected of us that we've internalized through one or the other society.
Absolutely. Well, those were some wonderful messages that you shared with everyone. And thanks for your time. Thanks for talking to us.
No problem. Thanks for taking an interest in me.